To the latest episode of the Lisa Pizik Show. I have my friend Tara Ann LaPera here with me today, a self-love and success coach. Tara, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
I am so excited about this episode because I was just sharing with Tara, when I'm building courses and memberships and assets for people where they are literally going to put their butt on the line, people are going to be seeing them, hearing them. Sometimes that inner critic comes out, and that inner critic has lived there for a long time. And I know that was very much part of my story. It's like you would never speak that way to a friend or somebody that you love, but sometimes we speak so not kindly to ourselves. Right? This whole concept around self-love, everybody wants it. We want to love on ourselves. We want to love on others. We want to be successful. But how the heck do we get there? And that's what Tara and I are going to dig into today. So let me tell you about her. She's a rock star. She has 4 kids. I just throw that out there right now. 4 kids, mama, business owner. Like, your excuses are irrelevant.
I can only take credit for giving birth to 3 of them, though.
3, yes. One is a nephew whom you adopted. But
yeah, we're in the adoption process, yes.
That's so exciting. But 4 kids that look after you and a husband.
Yeah, right? And a husband, so 5 kids.
So good, we love them, but 5 kids sometimes. Our mom keeps the house, mom keeps the house together. So let me tell you about Tara. So she's a wife, mom to 4 kids, entrepreneur, and has a true passion for helping women transform their lives by implementing key tactics and strategies. We're going to talk about that she has learned through her own path of self-development. Tara didn't just wake up and go, I love myself and life is good and I got it all figured out and off we go.
I wish life was like that sometimes, but unfortunately, no.
I know, right? The hard stuff is hard, right?
It is, but it wouldn't, if it wasn't hard and you didn't dig deep, you wouldn't be able to be like, oh my God, I did this. I worked on myself. And if things are handed to you, like, it's different, right? You got to dig deep. You got to get in those low moments for you to be up there. So and it still does it no matter what. You could be at your highest high, but it's really not your highest high. You always have to dig deep within yourself.
I always say there's no graduation in life. Like, you're never like, I have arrived. Like, that just doesn't happen, right? We're always growing. We're always expanding.
It should always be like that. Yep.
Yeah, we master one thing and then you go, all right, I got some wind in my, in my wings and my sails. Now what's the next mountain I'm going to climb? What's the next thing?
Yeah, but always know, though, that you want to look back at everything that you achieved too, because that is who you are. That is why you are where you're at. People could just be like, all right, I got to do this again. I got to do that. I got to continue to grow. And then they don't look back and say, oh my God, look what I did. Look what I went through, So definitely going back and being proud of the things that you achieved is very important. Very important.
Well, let's dig in a little bit about that. How, and I know I definitely want to get to your story, but you just kind of opened up a good point for me. How, like, people will go like, how, like, do you gratitude journal? Do you have a practice at the end of, like, I know I gratitude journal in the morning. Every Friday, Eric and I look back at the week and kind of recap together. At the dinner table, we talk about my favorite part of the day. And
oh, you do that too. I love that I do that. Yes.
Right? So we build in, it's one thing to go, you should look back and you should celebrate. And then it's another thing to actually build in, like, a practice around doing that. So what kind of practice?
Especially if you're a parent. If you're a parent.
So tell me a bit about
that. So my daily routine, is that what you want me to, like? Okay.
Yeah,
so
how you celebrate, how you do that. Yeah.
It's grown over time. So it started out very, very small which was prayer, just to the higher up, which is the Lord for me. and I would just put my prayers out there. And then as I, continued to learn a little bit more about people that I was surrounding myself and things that they were doing, and I'd ask them, so bits and pieces over the years, I grabbed and started doing on my own. Every morning when I wake up, I just open up my eyes and I thank the Lord every day for giving me another amazing day here on earth to be, the incredible mom, the wife, and to be able to empower and instill something in somebody, to be there to help others. And then I open up my eyes and I kiss my husband and maybe one of 4 of my children who are next to me because I climbed in bed with me over the night. Yep. I do not grab my phone first. I used to. So I have eliminated that, period. Do not even touch it in my room. I carry it back into the kitchen, but then I go into the kitchen and I have this little Bible verse that I read, and it's like a daily thing that you go by day in, day out. And I read that verse every morning. And then one of my business partners, Amy, had got me something where you read it in the morning and at night. So that's another thing that I do. And then I have a book that's called Hustle across the front of it. And it's by Rachel Hollis. It's just one of her books. And it talks about what are the 10 things that you're grateful for. And it could be the silliest thing. It could be the conversation that I had with my oldest daughter. It could be my daughter, Raylan, that she did my makeup last night. Like, I'm grateful for that moment. So it's moments that were in my life that I already encountered. I write those out. And then I also write out my 10 dreams. Things, and they're repetitive every single day. And then I write it in bold at the bottom of the one that I'm going to achieve, and then I'm really pushing for. And then that can scoot over and then, move on to another one. So that right there is something that I do every single day while I'm sipping on my coffee.
I love that, and I love that you said you started with prayer.
Yeah.
Like you started, it wasn't like you were like, I'm going to do this and 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 this. And oh, this person meditates and this person exercises and this person does this journal and this person.
I'd love to start implementing more meditation. The only time I've really focused on kind of doing that now, believe it or not, is when I'm in the shower. At night, like I'll just be like, okay, I'll wipe off my arms, my body, just get any negative energy. And then I'll just stand there and, and I'll just like drift off. And if things come to me, I actually have a crayon in my shower. Yes, one of my children's crayons, because my husband and I write messages to each other just to kind of, instill love, empowerment, all that. And if things come to me, which they always come to me in the shower, I don't know why. And then I'll write them there. So I would love to implement more meditation on a daily basis. So with you bringing that up, but it's coming.
Yeah, but you started with one thing.
Yeah. I started with one.
And you made it your own.
Yes.
There's so many, my gosh, the 5 a.m. club, the miracle morning, like there's not a lack of information about how to love yourself, how to start your day right, your morning routine. But I think the key is that you have to start by making it your own. Don't try to, it's like the circle in the square. Like, don't take someone else's routine. If you are not spiritual or you don't believe in religion, then don't start with prayer. Like, that's what worked for Tara. That's what she feels grounded in. If that's spirit or that's something completely different, if that's hustle, if that's movement, if that's yoga, like whatever it is, I think the key, right, is taking that time for you before you give to the other eyeballs and hands and hearts that need you, right? Yeah.
I'm just done with jumping up and going like, oh my God, I got to do this, I got to do that. And then like my heart's racing and then I'm going a mile a minute and I'm in a rush the whole day. I can't do that to myself anymore. I can't, because it just builds up so much anxiety and having 4 kids, like my brain is in a million places. So I try to wake up at least 30 minutes to an hour before my kids. And look, there's mornings that don't happen like that, but I always, no matter what, once they're fed or sitting, I still do my routine, even when they're sitting there. And then something you shared with me is that with your family at dinner time or when the kids come home from school, what was so amazing today? What did you do? You know, what was the best part of your day? That's what we say. And we
Mm.
go through that, you know, some of the kids are too young to do that, but I started that with my oldest. She'll be 20. And I started that with her young, and she still joins in and loves it. You know, it gives her, I think, something to instill in herself for when she
Mm.
eventually has babies. I'm
Mm.
hoping for one day, not now.
Oh, now you're gonna add some grandkids to the mix, sister.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
I hope so.
It's interesting too because when Oliver, our little guy, when he was in like preschool, kindergarten, I didn't know any better, and I'd just be like, "How was your day? What'd you do?" Right? And he'd be like, "I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
remember. Oh, nothing. What'd you learn? Nothing." I'm like, but when we started implementing that, my favorite part of the day, he'll tell us that. And then sometimes he goes, "And Mom, do you know what my not so favorite part of today was?" And then he takes like the spin off and he'll tell us something that upset him or something that he didn't know how to navigate. And just having that practice built in, it fosters so much communication
It does.
that we all want. We all want that connection. We all want that communication,
You can
with
watch their body language when they're talking. You'll
yeah.
know if it was like a sad day or a happy day. And yes,
Mhm,
yep.
mhm. So talking about our kids and what we instill in them and the messages that we want them to take on, hopefully with their children or those people that they choose to love.
Yeah.
What was that like for you growing up? So did your family instill those messages in you? Did you learn that from them, or what was that like? Were you all, like I said, were you always like, I am loved and happy and perfect and free and all that stuff, right?
So I would love to say yes, but unfortunately, no. And I would also like to say that our past definitely builds us and makes us who we are today. But it depends on how we take that journey throughout an adulthood life.
Mm-hmm.
So I lacked so much self-love, confidence, belief. We moved around a lot. I'm actually in the Rise Women Who Rise book, so that is part of my story. And by the age of 12, I lived in 25 different houses. By the age of 12,
Wow.
so right there, I didn't stay in a school long enough to get good friends. I didn't stay in a school long enough to really have belief in myself in reading, which I still struggle with today. Math, I mean, you name it. And, it just, every school you move to was a different program. So that right there just stumped me with like, who am I? What am I doing? I'm not smart enough. So in my home base, that path continued. My dad never graduated. My mom never graduated. My brother never graduated. I never graduated. My sister never graduated. So there was lack of anything in our household. Did we love each other? Yeah, absolutely. We loved each other. But there was never that inner belief that how was your day? None of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I have shifted my life throughout my children to be completely different, and I share that with my mom, very close with my mom. But, and that's not her fault, she raised us to how she raised us, but there's different things that you dig for in being a girl, a teenager, a young mom, all of that unfortunately we did not have. No.
Mm-hmm. And it's like you said, when you can look back at that and realize, I always think there's two things. One is like a responsibility almost, because I always think the same, I grew up with the same kind of not so stable home life, and our parents did the best they could with what they had.
She did. Yeah, they did.
You want to believe that. You do believe that, right?
Yeah.
They did the best with what they have. And now it's our responsibility to heal from that,
Mm-hmm.
and to teach our children the messages and the lessons maybe that we didn't get.
Absolutely.
Right? Like I don't know about you, but I spent a lot of time, and I think that really halted my self-love. I spent a lot of time in anger at my family, anger for the things that were done and said to me, angered for the lack of, wanting that, what I thought the perfect mom and dad would be, and wanting that support, wanting that structure, wanting that love, wanting that, love, that unconditional love just because. And I spent a lot of time in anger, which I know it's necessary to go through those emotions.
Yeah,
But then
absolutely.
after that, it was like, okay, now what? Now what do I want to do with that? Right. And I think that's the other side that we want to help people get to is you're like, okay, I moved around. I could, I had a hard time learning. It wasn't my fault. I was plunked in these situations and trying to navigate the best I could. Right now, what is the lesson from that? And how can I use that actually as fuel to be the mom and the wife and the person that you are? I mean, I think a lot of people, when we talk about self-love, they get stuck in this victim mode of, well,
Very true.
this happened to me and
Yes.
had this happen and you don't understand, right?
Yeah.
People like, you don't understand. And you're like, no, actually I do. I moved around to 20 different, homes and 10 different schools and or whatever, right? That whole you don't understand piece, like you do, right? I think that
Pity me. Yeah.
yeah, I think that
Yeah.
you say that kind of, if you're stuck in that anger or that you can't forgive or you don't understand or, you're up there so successful and I'm always going to be here, does that halt self-love? And is that why a routine for yourself is so key?
Oh, routine for me is very, very key. I work very well in routine, especially as being, a mom and in multiple businesses. But people that are like that, they're holding themselves back. They're holding themselves back from growth, success, and when you're doing that, you're not giving the right amount of love back to anybody else. So how are you going to receive that back? Holding grudges, the past is the past. It cannot, if you're allowing the past to dictate your future, don't expect for all the goodness to come to you, because you have to release that. We all have the ability to create the life that we desire. We have one shot here in life, one time here, the date that we come into this world and the date that we leave the world. Between that gap, we are able to make that day and every second of our life and make those decisions and create that. And that's what's sad for the people that allow their past to still move forward with them. And that's where I love to dig deep into people to show them, like, you're so much more. What are your passion, your desires? What do you envision and see yourself, getting married, having children, your career, all of that stuff. And it's getting through the things that were holding them back as a child or a teenager, whatever had happened in their life, because there's stuff that happens in our life that sticks in our mind. And sometimes we don't even know it. We don't even know the situation, but it's digging, into your back to kind of try to figure that out. But yeah, it stinks, right? For people that allow that to stop them.
When you were talking, I thought of like the image of like a backpack. And I love how you were like so blunt about like, don't expect, goodness to come when your backpack is filled with baggage and hurt and anger and disappointment and frustration. Like when that backpack is full, you can't put anything, you're carrying that weight. You're moving slower. You can't put anything in it. As you're saying, like, take it off, release it. Get some books out of there that don't need to be in there, or things that don't need to be in there. Yeah. So you've got space for that, almost like you said with Rachel Hollis, with those dreams, those things you're living into and you're doing, right? If your backpack is full of that, none of those dreams are going to happen. And you're
not going to think that you deserve it either, because then you're like, I don't have the room. I'm not going to take this on. Why am I going to, like, who am I? So yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge limiting belief, that who am I to, or that's
how I used to think of myself. Who am I? Why, like, who's gonna love me, and it instilled in me, being a young mom, having Alicia. She'll be 20. I was 21 when I got pregnant with Alicia, and I knew nothing about myself, nothing at all at 21. I was a baby still, although older than some people having kids, but still a baby to me. Even though I had to grow up very fast, it just was I didn't, how am I going to love this precious little thing and show her life if I didn't have that in me? So
Yeah.
it took a
Yeah.
lot of digging within my soul and within what I wanted.
Yeah. And
So
growth. You grow through experiences, as we
you
said in the beginning.
do.
Right? You grow from those mistakes, or you grow
Yeah.
from those uncomfortable situations that you're
Mhm.
plunked into and go, oh my God, beautiful maybe situations like the birth of a child,
Yes.
but going, oh my God, like I now, again, that like, I am mom, right? It's like that meme where it's like, sometimes I wish that, there was someone to make dinner and take care of me. And then you realize,
Oh,
sometimes I wish I had a mom. Like, you are the mom of the house, right? Like,
cereal nights.
I know. It's so true. And I often think about that with kids. Like, our nephew is 21 now, actually. He just turned 21. And, in college and switched colleges. And like, I just think about God, like at 18, 19, when you're in college and you're picking like what career and profession you want to do for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
That's so hard at that age. So
Young. It's so young. And my daughter's there right now. So it's too young, I think.
young, like you don't know at that, like you said, you don't even really fully know yourself. How do
Mm-mm.
you know what profession you want to get into, for the rest of your life? Like I can remember when I was making the transition out of nursing and I was, getting into entrepreneurship and doing this. And I remember like in the beginning, like my mom was like, well, if you don't like nursing, then, just quit and just and just walk away. And she was all like angry about it because that was always her dream for me. And I can
Yeah.
remember going, but mom, it's not that easy. Like, I got bills to pay. I got loans to pay off. Like, you can't just pick a profession, put yourself through school, and then go, oh, yeah, I'm not going to do that anymore. Right? Like, that adulting sometimes, it's like you got to navigate and be responsible, especially when you've
Yeah.
got children or people. So you really have to. I think that message of, especially for us, for our children, helping them really dig deep
Mm-hmm.
in their life, like messages from when they're even your little ones, I'm sure. Because what are the ages of your children? Because you've got a range, right?
Yeah, yeah. So Alicia is 19, and then Raylyn, she's 4, and then my nephew, who we're adopting, our son Charlie, he is actually 22 months, and then Hudson, our little baby, he just turned 10 months yesterday, or
Oh,
2 days ago. 2 days ago.
yeah. So like how is she, 19 or 20?
19. Yep, she'll be 20 in July.
For
4.
22 months and 10 months, right? So
Yeah.
it's like the way you speak to your oldest to the way you speak to your 4-year-old. So obviously the babies are babies, but
Yeah.
still your body language with them and just the
Mhm.
way you are, it's like they clue into everything, right?
Yeah.
And it's getting them to know themselves and trust themselves and dig deep in themselves. Like that, I believe, is what we're doing our best as parents when we can do that for them. And I'm interested to hear success. So what, because people have such a different success, to me can be so different than success to you. What is like your definition of success?
Um, so my business name is Self-Love and Success. And the whole reason behind that is, again, my journey with digging deep into finding who I was and truly loving me for who I am. And I wasn't having any success in my life, whether it was a job, whether it was loving myself, whatever it was, it just was like, I'd get there and then, I'd get there. And then, so really digging deep into all the coaching, the one-on-one coaching, the seminars, that you name it, I went through it all. And I'm like, wow, I'm really starting to find so much success in life in general, in my
Mhm.
businesses, in my family, just growth all around. So that was how it bloomed,
Mhm.
self-love and success. Because without loving ourselves or without loving anybody else, like how are things going to show up for us? So that's my definition. Yeah. Can it mean money? Absolutely. Can it mean success in love? It can mean so many things. For
Mhm.
me, it's just the abundance of everything that is coming together so nicely in our life.
That's beautiful. I think I've really been digging deep in myself and changing my messaging for people
Yeah.
around wealth. Like everyone comes to me and they're like, I want to make money. I want to, because, we build assets for people. We build the courses and memberships, and they're like, I want to launch this and I want to make money. And I'm really trying to help stretch people to see that wealth is so much bigger than just financial wealth. Growth, experience, relationships, connections, memories. It's like, okay, you launch it and you make that money, and then you take the kids to Disney and you've got memories, and it's like, what are you doing with that wealth? Like it's not just about the dollars and cents. It's about your life that makes you wealthy. And I think that's a really important message that you said. Success is like abundance in many different areas of your life, because some people might go, success means I climb the corporate ladder. And for
Done
you,
that, been there.
I was gonna say, I see 13 years as a top performing high level sales executive.
Yes.
But I bet that you could say you feel more success now in your life maybe than you did.
Far beyond.
Yeah.
Far beyond.
Yeah. Tell me about that. Tell me a little bit about that.
So, again, I had so many small end jobs, and I share that in my story in my book. And then I landed an incredible job in corporate America. And at my age, to have that without graduating high school, no college degree, no nothing, that I really just dug deep and just opened up my brain to soak in so much. And I hit the ground running. I was a single mom, I didn't have anybody else. And if it wasn't me showing up, who else is going to do it? And I thought, though, for a very long time, like, wow, I'm here. I'm doing it. I'm climbing it. This is incredible. 6 figures. Oh, my God. Hold up, Tara. What's going on? Depression kicks in. I'm drinking. I'm on the road. I'm never home with my daughter. Like, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Is this what I want? This is what I thought I wanted? No, it's not what I wanted. Not at all. I was losing myself. I was losing who I was. I was not showing up to be the mom that I required to be. And I was like, wow. I knew I never hardly worked out. I didn't eat right. I was very toxic. I mean, I was 30 pounds heavier than what I am today. It was like a wake-up call for me. And that's kind of like where I, had met my husband in one of my most toxic moments, believe it or not, is when I met my husband today. Wow. And he showed me so much love for myself. And he's kind of the one that allowed me to just find me and dig deep into me. And I forever am grateful for him. So yeah, that corporate ladder, I did it. And it was great, but it winded up not being who I am meant to be in life. And that's okay. That's okay. Yeah. You went on a career path change,
Totally.
Yeah. We're all instilled that we're supposed to be born, go to school, go to college, get the job, have a family. Yeah, mine wasn't nothing like that at all. It was all scrambled up. But it's, it's nice to know that you don't have to live by those rules, and you can create something so beautiful if you just believe in yourself and go for it. You have to go for it, because you're never going to know.
Amen. I always say you don't have to know every single step. You just have to know the first step. And you have to get real with yourself. Yeah. Which is why I think when we talked about in the very beginning about the prayer and the journaling and the checking in with yourself, I think people are so afraid when on paper things look good. The income, the house, the car, the kids, the marriage, even like the highlight reel, the speaking engagements, the book, the best-selling books. We're both in, you're going to be in a best-selling book. I'm in a best, or no, you're already in, were you in another one? There's Rise.
No, it's my first one.
I'm already 2-time bestseller. You're going to be a bestseller. Like, so exciting and amazing. And you're like, the world is your oyster.
Oh, yes.
But you got to check in and go, does this make me feel good? Is this right? If it is, stick with it. Keep going. If it's not, don't be afraid. Like you said, believe you can make a change and then go make a move. Yep. Even me leaving nursing. I'm sure with you leaving your high paying 6-figure, like I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do, but I'm going to stick
Well,
to
we
one.
started a networking business. We linked arms with Isogenics, and we're still growing that. It's 5.5 years. It's not my main platform anymore. It's still there. But I'll tell you what, network marketing, holy cow.
I
It showed me so much about myself.
I agree.
Yeah.
I did Beachbody, so I'm with you.
Yeah.
Used to be, I don't do it anymore, but I always say people bag on network marketing, and I'm like, I didn't.
Best thing we ever did.
I had
It's
no idea.
best growth within myself.
100%. That was a mandatory. It was like invite 5 people a day, be a product of the product. Pay it forward and believe in your team and
The
do your
community.
personal development.
Yeah, personal development
was like mandatory. If you want to be successful, you do your personal development. And I'm so thankful for Beachbody for that, because I had never read a personal development book a day in my life.
Yeah.
And
no, me either.
Yeah.
No, actually last year, 2019, I read more books ever in my entire life. Well, actually Audible, because I don't like to read, because I struggle with that. I think I'm still, what is it? Dyslexic? Is that what it is? Yeah.
What the words
So I literally listen to Audible. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you whoever decided to create that, because it's amazing. Just absolutely. It sinks in better when I listen to it. So that personal development over those 5.5 years, wow. Wow. I'll forever be great. I mean, that's why I'm still with the company and still grow it, but it's just not my main hub right now, if that makes sense. There's so much more in me that I just want to, keep evolving into.
Yeah. And I think that's a point where that's it, and I think that's okay too, because sometimes in network marketing, there's that trap where it's like, oh, if you leave, you're and it's like, no, people,
I'm not leaving. I'm just doing other stuff different. Yeah. For me, of where I've always envisioned and really, truly wanted to put out there, and I'm doing it.
Yeah.
It's taken some time, but it's okay.
Yeah. I feel like you're called. I felt like when I left network marketing and I really sunk into what I'm doing now, it was something bigger and outside of me. Like, I felt like it was like, Lisa, you are being called to help people bring their mission and their message forward. Like,
amen.
You think you have a choice? Like, you don't. Like,
it shows up for you, right?
Right. Yes. And it's like, so I never, look down on anyone or speak badly about anyone that goes, you know what? I just kind of was called to go in this direction, and that's where I'm going. Right. Yeah. You champion those people that go, and if you listen to woo-woo law of attraction, like, they will tell you that your life will be hard if you don't listen and go, that's where the roadblocks and the things come up for you, because you're not going down the path you were meant to go down. That is where struggle and all of that sometimes, that constant roadblock, constant struggle, that is a sign that you are misaligned.
Very true.
And you got it.
Very true. That was good. Yeah. I'm big with affirmations and law of attraction, and thank you for that. Right? Like that's huge. Anybody that's listening to this, if you are not a person that does not put things out into the universe, or does not put a poster up or something, or write something continuously out there, please do it, and just do it for 30 days and watch what shows up. Watch what shows up. It's amazing.
Totally. I love how Rachel Hollis shared the story once about how I was there at that High Performance Academy with Brendon Burchard when she spoke on the stage, and she got really emotional, and she was saying, I wrote in my journal every single day, I will speak on Brendon Burchard's stage. I will speak on Brendon Burchard's stage. And then even things like, she's like, I would write, I will always fly first class. Like, even just like that. And I'm like, I love that, because there's something really powerful about, that's why I love journaling, when you put the pen to paper.
Yep. I use pencil, because you know why? My brain is always thinking more. I'll erase, and I'm like, I'm going bigger. I'm adding more numbers. I'm going further. Like, pencil is my jam.
Yeah. And I think that's a part of self-love and success. Allowing yourself to dream so big.
Yes.
Because why not?
Why not? Why not?
Right? Yeah. Why not you? I always say that. Why not you, and why not now?
Yeah. And
Right?
what do people say? If your dream is, you think it's big, go bigger. Go
Yeah.
bigger.
Yeah. Amen.
Write it out there.
So, lastly, tell me about the book, Women Who Rise.
Yeah.
You're going to be a published author, and
So I always wanted people that I've shared my story with in the past, have always told me, you will write a book, you will write a book. And honestly, for years, I did not believe it. And then it kind of started showing up for me. And somehow I was aligned with this group of women when I moved to New Jersey, and somehow they shifted me to meet Kate. How weird is that, right? Like,
there
law of
are no
attraction again.
yeah, there are
So
coincidences.
I'm unfortunately not writing a whole book. That will come in the near future, but this is my stepping stone to sharing my story and putting it out there. So, I thought I was going to be in one early on a book with Kate, and I just didn't feel, I didn't feel the calling at all in my heart. So I was just like, this is not for me right now. I went to one of Kate's events in August. I walked around the corner and there was this banner sitting there and it said Women Who Rise. And I'm like, oh my God, okay, God. Okay, God, I feel you. Like, this is it, right? This is it. And I knew through that entire event that I was doing this. So at the end, that's when I was like, yep, here's my credit card. I'm signing up. This is me. I want to put it out there because I'm so tired of holding on to it. This is another thing that's going to allow me to just move forward in life, and very excited about Women Who Rise to come out, and it launches April 29th. It's so like right
Yay!
there.
Ooh, when you get
And
the date, it's like it's real, right?
yeah,
I love it.
it's real.
I love
So
it.
I'm really excited for this journey. I mean, I've learned so much throughout this journey. And if anybody is holding themselves back from sharing their story, just do it. Oh
Totally.
my gosh, just do it. It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing.
It is. And I know for me, sharing my story has helped me heal.
Yeah. Yep. That's it.
It was a really powerful, and again, I went through that whole who's going to want to listen to my story? Is it
It's
impactful?
not just about my story. There's 30 stories in this book. There's so many incredible stories. And I
And
mean, these women who I've met and have been in my life now throughout this, journey of being a co-author, the impact that they've made on me, that's so much love within itself right there. That's huge.
that was the main reason. So, listeners, I want to challenge you too for what you say yes to. The
Yeah.
main reason why so I was in an earlier book, Women Who Illuminate. That's a
Oh
best
yeah.
international bestseller, which is exciting. I fell in love at the opportunity to get tapped into a community. And that's where I met Tara. We were at the
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
event,
This is where we met. Yeah, that's
right?
right. Yep.
and
Yeah.
and then we were at an event just in January. We reconnected again there, and that's so. Look at, some people might just look at it and go, okay, I'm a bestseller in a book, congratulations, I've arrived. No, there's so much more to it. For
Hmm.
me, it was the community, it was people, it was getting connected, it was being able to share my message with people and really hone in on what that is. And it's like, again, that connection, that experience. And I love how you were like, Tara, you were like, I just gave my credit card and I was like, here it is, right?
Done.
Like leap first and the parachutes will find their way, right?
And it has. It totally has. But it's just in a beautiful alignment. And I've learned so much throughout this process. I really learned that, boy, I am not a good writer. Thank God for people out there to help support you in doing it. And I have to thank my business partner, one of my business partner, Amy. Amy helped me tremendously throughout that. You could tell your story, but when it comes to you, like your struggles in like reading and writing as a young kid, that really showed up for me. I was like, oh, okay, I got this here, but but yeah, it all came together so beautifully. It did,
Mm,
and I'm excited. I'm so excited.
I'm excited for you. And it shows you can do hard things,
Yes. God,
right?
I felt like a sigh of relief saying that, because yes,
You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Stop being afraid of asking for help for things is what I've learned this year, let alone in 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
There are
always,
things that I want to do, and I'm just like, I don't have maybe so much of the knowledge or the brain so much because I have so much going on that I'm just like, I'm reaching out for help. Like, can you help me? I want to create this. I want this to come alive. Like, who can help me in this journey, in this process. And that's what I've
Mhm.
learned. And it's amazing, the people that show up.
Amen.
Amazing.
There's something about, I think it's just inherent in tribe and community that someone states their dream, and once you state it and you ask for help, people get behind it.
Yeah.
You know, I know how to do that. I can help you, or I know someone actually that can,
Yeah.
do that. And we were just watching the documentary the other night. The I don't know, it's called The Littlest Big Farm or Biggest Little Farm, like on Netflix. And
Huh.
basically it was about this woman husband and wife, who decided they wanted to like have their own farm. And it was like a self-sustaining, old school farming way. And they lived in like this little condo. And long story short, she was like, we literally were like, how the heck are we going to do this?
Yeah.
They literally told like family and friends. They just started telling everyone, like, we want to get this farm. We want to have this land. They knew nothing. They knew nothing about farming. She was a chef who worked like with really, good, like plant-based and like really healthy
Oh, okay, good.
food. But in terms of like actually farming, they had no idea what they were doing. And she was like, turns out when you tell people like what you want, like all these people, like they found the land, they bought the land, they had a mentor, they had like people that came and worked on the farm. And I was like, see, I
Yep.
was like,
It's
you put it out
it's
there.
putting it out there to the universe. Absolutely.
Yeah. And again, the movie shows all the ups and downs. Again, it wasn't like, oh, we have this farm and life is
Yeah.
amazing, and like it was just such a great documentary to show like life. Like that's
Now
life.
I want to watch this.
Oh my God, it's so
Thank
good.
you.
It's
Thank
so
you for sharing it.
You have to watch it. But that's you, right? Like you're like, I can do hard things. I don't
Yeah.
have to do it alone.
No.
Don't have to do it. So that is like a mantra you can say to yourself, I can do hard things. I don't have to do it alone.
Absolutely not.
Right?
Yep.
Oh, I feel like I could just chat with you for like 47 hours.
Yes,
Like,
let's do it.
I love our synergy. I love our conversations. I'm so glad. I want to tell them, though, I'm sure that the listeners love you as well. And they want to know how they can get in contact with you. So old school email is
Yep.
taraandlapera@gmail.com. Don't worry if you're driving, you don't have pen, paper. I'll put all this in the show notes. Instagram, self-love and success, what we've been
Yep.
talking about this whole podcast. And also on Facebook, Tara and LaPera. It's LEPERA for those of you looking, but I'll have it all in the show notes. So I was going to say final question. What are you most excited about? I think it's the book, but is there anything
There is a lot of other stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Well, I am with who you've already interviewed, Amy Broccoli and Penelope Jones. So we have Inspired Purpose Coaching, and we do also our own podcast platform. And it's strictly just for women, where being either an entrepreneur, or, just allowing them to share their story behind. We actually do it here at Penelope's. I'm at Penelope's house today because we have one right after here. On the amazing black couch.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
Listening.
But we do motivational speaking, little events. Our main focus this year is our podcast, Inspired Purpose podcast. And so we have that. My goodness. Oh, and my website goes live in about 2 weeks, and I'll have some self-love coaching. So everything that I've been through in my journey, I'm implementing, programs, whether it's a, one-on-one, or it's, I've got a 14-day challenge coming. Like there's just different things to help other mamas out there, whether you're a mom or a woman or whatever, struggling from, digging deep into yourself. So I'm really excited about those hitting and going live.
It's such a needed message, which is why
Yeah.
I wanted you and Penelope and Amy, your business partners. Guys, go back and listen. I did a little like series with these gals. I
Yeah.
had them all separate on, and then I had them all together. So you see the strengths that they bring to their business, the way they put it together, and then all of them together, how they collaborate. I called it how women collaborate versus compete. Because again,
Yeah.
limiting belief if you think all women are out to get me and nobody wants to see me succeed. And maybe you've come from that 9 to 5 corporate world where it is kind of cutthroat, but
Yeah.
that's just one piece of the world. That's not
Yeah.
how the whole world.
Oh, I pray that it just gets better for people out there like that. Like,
No, right?
the Lord really truly aligned Amy, Penelope, and I, and it's crazy. We are all 3 different people, but when we come together, holy moly, it's just moving. I
Mm-hmm.
am grateful for them every single day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are. You definitely want to check
They're
out.
like my babies. So if
Yeah.
you say I have 4 kids at home, I've got 2 other adult babies and my husband. I just love them. Absolutely love them.
Yeah, and I saw them at this event we were at together. So Kate, when you heard us talking about Kate, Kate is our publisher.
Kate Butler, yeah.
And that's where I saw the 3 of them, Amy, Penelope, and Tara, together at this event. And I always go to events and I'm kind of like a little bit of like a fly on the wall. And I always know that I want to connect deeper with either like 1 or 2 people or a certain group. And the 3 of them together, I was like, I don't really know what you got going on, but I like it and I want to know more about it. And again, I'm always looking for this podcast. How do I extract out that message that people need to hear and get it out there? And that's exactly what we did with having them on individually and then having them on together. And it's just a new way of thinking, you know, it's a new way for women to start loving on themselves and start loving on other people and showing up the way they're called to and showing up, you know, to be their best. So
Very true.
I love it. So thank you for playing with me.
Thank you so much. This was fun. You're the best. Thank you. Thank you for doing this for all of us. It was just an incredible time.
You're
We
welcome.
love you for it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And I'm going to be on their podcast.
You're on ours, yes.
So stay tuned. I'll share the links for that. And as always, listener, I want you to know you matter. I love that you're here. I love that you keep tuning in. You keep coming back for more. Know that we love you. So love yourself. Get your own routine. Don't listen to what anybody else is telling you coulda, shoulda, woulda, and need to be doing. You already know deep down inside. You know what you need. Your story matters. You matter. And Tara and I want to thank you for tuning in. And we'll see you again next time on the Lisa Pizik Show. Mwah.